This is the flower of that Carea arborea. It's one of the fantastic tree of our country. So useful, having so many properties. Looks also beautiful. Flowers are stunning, and then it is very useful for other creatures, not just humans. Like this fruit of this Carea arborea is an important food of the elephants. Wow! In a certain season, these animals, if you go into Indian forest nowadays, you will find in this Nagarole and all, they just have one or two species of trees, and the animals can't survive on one or two species. They need entire spectrum of the flora of that area, because different items are ripening in different parts of the year, and this Carea arborea is a herb, so it will have so many properties. You can't. They will be adjusting their diet and all accordingly, and in a certain season this will be very much required. It has deworming capabilities and all. So in our forest we have to have these trees. Yeah? If once they are gone, the animals can't survive. They can't survive. For example, humans and all, we all can't eat just rice all year long and live. We need varied vegetables and spices according to the season. Same thing applies to animals also. They need cooling plants in the summer, warming ones in the winter, and fruits and all that. And once the number of species in the forest falls down, then they get a compromised diet. Their children, their babies and all will be, they'll not breed and all properly. They'll not be healthy. So this Carea arborea, it's called Kumbi in Sanskrit and Indian Kannada and all, and Daddala and all. And then it has lot of Ayurvedic properties. Then also it is these animals, almost all the herbivores are eating the fruit. Later in about a month or two from now, the fruits will appear, and that fruits will fall down finally, and then these elephants, monkeys, bison, deer, cows, all kind of creatures can eat it. And then these flowers provide nectar for the birds and butterflies, and they all need continuous supply of food. One after the other, these species start flowering. As they flower, these animals can they have to live off them. So this one is so beautiful, but you will never see in the and such a fantastic aroma. My God, I'd never seen this, smelt this one before, but it has a heavenly smell. And look at its perfection, the beauty of the structure and everything. Every part is beautiful. So this Carea arborea is an important species, and then we need it in all our forests. It occurs all over India and many other countries of this region also. And then it makes an excellent tree for avenues and all, roadsides, parks, gardens and all. I don't see any logical reason why people are not planting these plants. Instead of that, they got some stupid foreign species and put it everywhere. They're just for some flowers and some kind of a warped sense of aesthetics. If this is not considered beautiful, I don't know what can be considered beautiful. It's hardy also. It survives very well in our India. It doesn't need your watering, fertilizer, pruning, cutting, nothing. Long lived also. Someone has broken one branch. Anyway, that is the Carea arborea flowers. I saw some one or two other flowers which had some pinkish petals and all, so I'll have to look for that again somewhere else. This is at the edge of a sacred grove, and behind me it's all fully getting developed. This is that what I have called as valley number 1. It's in the middle of the town, and I think in front of my eyes it's getting developed, and all these trees are the first to go. They are considered as useless, and these useless category trees, straight away they are bulldozed off, chopped and bulldozed. It becomes firewood. At least in the cities, okay, we can manage without them. But what about the forest? Why can't this forest department plant all these instead of idiotic timber species? Particularly our Karnataka's in these biodiversity areas, the biggest killers of biodiversity are the forest department themselves. The way they have planted those acacias and silver oak and eucalyptuses and all, it looks green for people with untrained eyes. But it's a food desert for animals. What are they going to eat? That's the reason why you find these animals are coming into the city. Elephants are straying into farms. There's nothing in those stupid forests anymore. It's all just teak plantations. And then so many invasive weeds also have come. And people have forgotten that animals also have to eat. They need a balanced, nutritious diet around the year, not just 1 or 2 seasons. Every day they have to eat, and every bird, every insect needs to eat every day. Such basic things also we have forgotten as a species. Just ordinary people, okay, I can forgive them, but not forest department and these government authorities who have taken over all these forests. They treat it as their private kingdom. You can't even get in there without their permission. What are they doing inside? They are just planting monoculture, removing our own country's trees. They're all British time itself. They chopped and finished everything. Some replanting, some naturally reoccurring occurrences happened. And then our chaps are compounding that folly by continuing to go on planting those trees. It's a real tragedy, and a silent tragedy, because no one thinks of those animals and birds and insects and all. Anyway, that's how it goes. This is one more Nux vomica. Very high up, very beautiful tree. This small patch had so many nice plants, so I could find, because it's not developed. This area is described as normally undisturbed place. That is, old growth has been cleared many times, and some cashew also they have planted. But however, there is no regular weeding and setting fire and such things. So those are undisturbed places. Some 10 years, if it is left alone, many of these local species will come back. But even there, nowadays so many exotic invasive plants have come. Our gardeners have enthusiastically embraced foreign plants, planting them everywhere, paying fancy prices, buying, planting. And those species, they escape from the gardens. They start taking over our forests, and many of our species can't compete with them. Once the native species go, oh, the whole web of life of that area gets systematically destroyed, because all creatures need variety of flowers, fruits, leaves, habitats, everything. A small patch, and then it's such a pleasure to go and look at these plants in their natural habitat, growing so beautifully by themselves. Here that kumbi tree, that Carea arborea, what I showed earlier, you can see the leaves also. This tree has been chopped for firewood or something. It has recovered somewhat. It looks like the leaves and all look like cashew almost. No flowers. I think this tree has got a bit abused, and it is not in the mood to produce flowers this year. Something else interesting. This is that Naravelia zainelica, I think. It's called the Neelavalli. So these fruits are all important. Birds and all need it. Whole from January to December end to almost March, that Neelavalli's fruits are available in these undisturbed places, and those places that have such plants, and then that's a great support for birds. They can come, and once they know that a particular plant is there, they have territories, all these birds and all, and they go around and they know where what is growing. Then in that season they go and eat that stuff. This is another interesting one, which I'll be doing a separate video on this. This is one of the euphorbia, very nice one. It has that milky latex, and then but it occurs normally people think this is a cactus, but actually it's not a cactus. It's a plant that produces milky latex. It's a good hedge plant. These tiny things, the focusing is an issue. This name and this, I'll be doing a separate video. So if you want to know more about it, keep an eye on my channel little. I'll put it up at some time. This one occurs in our Western Ghats region and all. Very nice plant, and then it's a very mighty survivor in harshest of locations. If there's fire and all, also they manage to survive. And then much more about it I don't know, because I haven't. These are all, many of these species are new to me also. People who are interested in nature, who really want to do something, they have to study the plants, because the plants are the foundation of the environment. Whether it's humans, we humans ourselves, food, medicine, shelter, oxygen, water, everything depends on plants. We can't live a day without them. What will you eat if there are no plants left? So study the plants of your area. Find out what grows naturally in your area. Go and look and find them. So many youngsters I find, they ask anybody, you like nature? Yes, yes, we are nature lovers. When you ask them to name one species of their area, they will not be able to do it. It's all that kind of virtue signaling. Eco-friendly, it's become a catchword and fashionable. If you're so eco-friendly, go out and then look at the plants that are in your area, buy some books, search in the internet. And all those interesting plants, why don't you grow it in your own places? In Bangalore, I've seen that Turahalli forest and all. There is absolutely nothing. Just some 2 species. Even a monkey can't live there. Monkeys also need fruits and shoots and all. Around the year they need. There's just 1 or 2 species, and that is 2 non-fruiting. That's the end of. No animal can survive or likes to live in such food deserts.